Hey everybody, I'm gonna be making some green chili sauce today. So, hey, let's just, I can't see my screen right now, so well, maybe I can try and turn it around. Make it a little easier. No, I can't. Well, that's okay. We'll go ahead and we'll leave this right here, kind of stationary. Well, let me first show you what I got going here. I got about one medium onion, and I've given it a pretty fine dice. Most people like to do this in a saucepan. I'm doing it in a little bit deeper pan so that I can hit it with my immersion blender when I'm done. I like to have all this stuff chopped up really fine, but I like to get the good caramelized texture over most of the, over as much an area as I can. So you can see I got a couple of big chunks on there, but not a big. Okay, so now back to the chili. I've chopped up about, I don't know, 8 Hatch New Mexico green chilies here, and I use my butcher knife for everything. I love this thing. It's just a little easier for me to manipulate. My wife can't stand using this thing. She chops with, let me see. Here, there. No, it's probably in the dishwasher. And it, well, yep. Ah, here it is. This is what my wife uses. Oh, there we go. She likes to use this little bitty thing to chop everything from potatoes to chili to you name it. Everything gets chopped with this little bitty thing. I don't know how we ever get around to eating in this house when she's cooking. So what I'm doing first is got this chopped up pretty good. And as soon as my onions get a little softer, I'm going to go ahead and put the green chilies in and let that, with a little bit of garlic salt, and let that kind of reduce down. See how we're doing across here at the chilies? Here we go. Actually, they smell pretty good and they're coming along really, really nicely. I did a video like this with for a green chili stew on my on a Facebook live stream. So if you don't follow me on Facebook and you want to check that out and see how I do that green chili stew, it comes out really good. You can catch me at my name's Sid Lajeunesse on Facebook. I'll try and put a link in the comments here. I'm not really good at, you know, most of this technology. I'm an old guy. I'm more hands-on. But looks like, let me see. All right, moving on. Looks like we got most of this stuff ready to go. I'm just gonna dump the green chilies in there. You can smell how hot, or hear how hot that is. I should probably pay better attention. I'm dripping stuff everywhere. I don't like wasting green chili. I know this isn't the best angle. I apologize, folks. I'm kind of working off some kind of funky stand. And let me, all right. So while that's going there, I'll give it a spin in a minute. I'm gonna put in about, I don't know, a teaspoon of granulated or a half teaspoon of granulated garlic. I'm just realizing now how sucky this video is gonna be, because I am everywhere with it. I'm just gonna let this cook a little bit to get rid of some of that moisture that's in the chili and the onion still. Let some of that just evaporate out. Turn my heat down a little bit so I don't burn anything. So we're just going to let that go. And no, I'm not liking this at all. Okay. Let me see what we can do to rectify this nonsense. Ah, there we go. That's a little bit better. Not too much, mind you, but a little bit. Okay, now when I started sauteing the onions, I had a little bit of I started out in a saucepan that I used to fry bacon in, and I had a little bit of bacon grease in there. My chilies are kind of hot. They're not really hot, but they're kind of hot. So when I got the onions going, I decided I'm going to use the immersion blender after I'd already started cooking. So I grabbed the little saucepan here, and I threw everything in there. And now I got the chilies going in there. But I also added a little bit of olive oil, and I go to a place called Old Town Olive, and what I'm using for this one is a green chili infused, or green chili pepper infused olive oil. And boy, this oil is actually very hot, so I only used a little bit to help get my onions going. So it's going to add some nice extra spice to my chili sauce. And this isn't like chopped green chili, you know, basicness. It's going to be a sauce that you can pour on pretty much everything you make. And if you're from New Mexico, you pretty much put green chili on everything you make. Little whole chili, I mean, short of breakfast cereals, but I'm pretty sure somebody out there likes to put a little bit of green chili in their plain oatmeal, because that's just what New Mexicans do. We're just funny that way. Let me keep an eye on this guy. Pull it off the heat a little bit. And we're not doing too bad. That's a lot of chili in with that onion. But like I said, this is going to be a green chili sauce. So I think green chili is the factor here. Alright, so I'm going to use a lot of people like to use chicken stock. I don't happen to have any right now, so what I'm going to do is just go straight 3 cups of water in here right now. And a roasted chicken, where am I? Roasted chicken bouillon paste. I'm going to use about a tablespoon on this so it gets some really good flavor. And now I'm just going to let this start simmering. And stir that up. I like using the tongs for stuff like this too, so if I need to, I can get in there and mix it up. Alright, I'm going to see if I can't find something better to put this iPad on. Give me just a sec. Nope, guess not. So So far what we have, believe it or not, I am propped up on a, oh, no, it's going to be bad there. Propped up on my toaster. Unplugged so I don't get, you know, electrocuted or anything. These other onions there are for my lunch. So I'm going to turn the heat up on this and get that, give it a little encouragement to do something. And in the meantime, I'll get my other ingredients. So what's going to go in once we get this thing going is white pepper, salt. I like a little bit of cumin, so I'm going to go ahead and put that now. And you can adjust this to your own taste. But you can see I'm just going to sprinkle it in there. 1/4 teaspoon, maybe a 1/2 teaspoon. I just like the way the flavor that it lends to the green chili. And once we get going, we're still going to do a cornstarch slurry in this bad boy to thicken it up. So I'm gonna make that now, and that's just water and cornstarch. And the reason I do that is so that the cornstarch doesn't clump up in my sauce. So you can see I've got about a teaspoon of cornstarch in there, and probably about a good 1.5 tablespoons of cold water. And I'm just going to whisk that up. Let me get here. Just going to whisk that up with a fork. Make sure I get all the lumps out of it. Nobody likes lumpy cornstarch. I'm going to give that a minute while this chili's going. Oh yeah, it's got some nice bubbling going on. Might be easier if I pull it closer. Let's see. Yeah, maybe. All right, it's a deal. Then we'll do it right here. And we're just gonna let this reduce down a bit. Not a whole bunch. So I'm gonna put cornstarch, so that's gonna thicken it up. Now, bear in mind while you're doing this, the cornstarch that you put in there, you might not need to use all of it. So yeah, you can hear me doing a little more in the background. So let me see. I'm going to add a little bit and stir it around. Man, that smells good. So give it a minute to work. You know, cornstarch takes a little bit of time there to start thickening up your product. Oh yeah, that's looking good. like that, but I think I'm going to go just a little bit more. You can see I still have a little bit, so I'm not going to use that. I think I'm done. We're going to mix this bad boy up. It's really not a long process. I mean, it goes pretty fast. If you like, once you're at this point with the additional seasoning to taste, the salt and the white pepper. White pepper is really just one of those that just kind of, it's just not black pepper. So I'm going to put about a half a teaspoon of white pepper and just a little bit right now of the salt. Give that a quick stir. I'm going to let that go ahead and meld together, and then I'm going to give it a taste and see what we're coming up with here. I like my green chilies, so I like them whole, I like them chopped. I put them in just about everything, but just for a good, this is actually really good just to like ladle over eggs, or, you know, if you're making a chicken breast, or dip it in your pizza, or dip your pizza in it. I'm gonna let that go just a little bit, and then I'm gonna give it a taste. See what we've got. Woo! Right on the back end. Doesn't need any more salt. Doesn't need any more pepper. That is spicy, but it is missing something. I can't quite figure out what it. Maybe not enough garlic. So I'm not gonna use garlic powder. I'm gonna use minced garlic. I'm going to let that make an impact on it. Give it just a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to give it another taste. See what we got, but man, that's some spicy chili. Woo! If you're making smothered breakfast burritos, this would go great on it. I don't know if y'all could hear, I got District 9 playing on the TV in the background. That's a crazy flick. Aliens invading South Africa. Alright, let's give it just a little. Oh, there you go, that's nice. That little bit of garlic helped out. I do like garlic in my green chili. Okay, well that's going. Let me get my immersion blender. I got this immersion blender for Christmas. It kind of helps me with my, well, I like doing a lot of stuff like this. So this is actually really, really hot, and I probably shouldn't do it while it's on, but I've got it on low. And it is still simmering, so I'm just gonna pop that bad boy in there. And just let the blender do the magic. Whoop. Ah. It gets a little suction and gets stuck to the bottom. I'm trying not to let it come out, because then it'll splash me with hot chili. Oh yeah, that's looking good. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think that's it. All right, so I'm gonna leave this simmering for just a little bit. I don't know where I am on camera because I can't see it. Oh, I know what. Let's do something creative here. How about, there we go, a mirror. I'm gonna leave that on simmer and for probably about another 10 minutes, but that's the basic right there. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave some comments in the comment section. Or those of you that know me that want to get some chili for a meal or something, come on by. I think tonight I'm making hamburgers. This might make a really good chili sauce to pour on my burger. So thanks very much for watching.